Hey, what's up, everybody? Cossack Crazies. Here we are, live from the A2 Arena on the campus of Black Hills State University out in Spearfish. This is a Wednesday afternoon. The Sioux Valley girls getting a practice in the day before. Their first game at the Class A tournament starts up tomorrow night. So here we are. They're allowing me to do a little recording over here in the background. We'll in the foreground. We'll put the team actually in the background there. They're just doing a shoot around. It's staying loose. They got here maybe an hour and a half ago to Spearfish, so they had a safe trip. No problems out there. Get here and just start getting ready for 3 games. 3 games are guaranteed. First one fires up tomorrow night at 6 o'clock, and that is Mountain Time. So that's 6 o'clock Spearfish time for everyone back home, just so you know that there. I want to thank some sponsors here. Everything we do on Saul's Media is brought to us by Bankstar Financial. They are the exclusive presenter of everything we do here. With locations in Volga, Brookings, and Elkton, Bankstar provides big-time business with a small-town feel. Looking to finance a home, need a car loan. How's your retirement plan looking? Stop in today and chat with the local professionals. Bank on the bright side. Bankstar Financial, a proud sponsor of Sioux Valley Athletics and the Saul's Media broadcast. We have other sponsors that we can do, but we'll save that for as we go through the show here. I'm trying to do everything myself, so I'm my own engineer. I'm my own backup. I'm my own announcer, and the guy that feeds all the people that you hear on TV. Someone hands them a piece of paper and they just read it. Well, I'm the guy that does that as well. Last time out was our fantastic Sodic 16 matchup in Madison. That was a big win over the Miller Wrestlers. It was 60-34 as they gained control in that first half and did not let up. Sioux Valley played great that night. Moves up to 19-4 on the season. The stars of our Sodic 16, Talia Vincent, she had 15. Mars, Amari Ward, she had 10. Kira Cruz, the 6-foot point guard, she had 18. That was a game-high 18. And Kaylee Craddock finished with 13. So 4 of the 5 starters finish in double digits. That's been a common theme for the last few weeks, I guess, is those starters getting into double digits as they distribute the ball very well. They play together very well. We've seen them shoot threes like gangbusters, as they can do from time to time. And that was another one as they had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like they only connected on 5 there. They've had evenings, including one against the team we'll play tomorrow night, Dakota Valley out of North Sioux City. When we went down to North Sioux City, that was a tough loss. The Cossacks had a lead into the fourth quarter with about 4 minutes to go, still had a lead, and then the shot stopped falling. The Sioux Valley Cossacks made 16 threes as a team that night and just could not connect in the last 4 minutes with anything, really. That allowed Dakota Valley to claw back in. They ended up tying it, and then they won it with a couple of baskets and a couple of free throws down the end. But it was a close game. Dakota Valley's been in the top 5 media poll kind of all year long. And Sioux Valley was receiving votes from time to time, but not ranked or receiving votes at the moment. But they come in this 19-4. They come in this as a 7 seed. That's the playoff points according to how the season went, how everything else went with your schedule, with your opponents and everything. Sioux Valley comes in at the 7, so they'll play the 2 seed, Dakota Valley, the Panthers, and that'll be tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Mountain Time. That's Spearfish time, so adjust your schedules back home accordingly. I've been out here since Monday night. I've been having a good time in the Black Hills. It's always fun zipping around. I've had a camera in my hand. The Custer State Park, that wildlife loop. I saw my buffalo out there. I saw, the pronghorns and prairie dogs are out there. I'm a bit of a bird nerd, so I'm always looking for birds. It's been a little bit tough because last year when I came out here with the Sioux Valley boys, they had their Class A tournament at the Monument, and I did kind of the same thing, kind of on our Monday, but I was able to get to the top of the observatory across from Mount Rushmore, and then also able to get through Needles Highway, and they're both cut off at the moment. They're both closed, I guess I should say, because they don't move snow up there in the off season. So. You drive up to a couple of road closed signs, and it's a little disappointing. But I didn't get to do everything that I wanted to, but it's still been a fun few days, and now we get to do this. So hanging with the girls and just making sure that they're okay and ready to go, and that's what we're doing here today. 19-4, that is the record for our Sioux Valley Cossacks, a huge win over Miller in that Sodic 16. Dakota Valley tomorrow night. The rest of our tournament is going to look like this. So tomorrow at noon, that's noon Mountain Time, so that's Spearfish time, the number 1 seed, Sioux Falls Christian, they are fantastic. The one loss they have on their season to Vermilion. And I think it's just the one, right? Or did they lose 2? No, they're 21-1 at the moment. They'll play the 8th-seeded Mount Vernon Plankinton, 19-4 on their season. That Mount Vernon Plankinton team is amazing because they graduated 4 starters last year, 4 seniors. One of them who is Emily Fox, who's now on the SDSU staff or the roster. But they're able to fight and kick and scratch and claw and get all the way back to 19-4. And a big win in their Sodex 16 over Aberdeen Roncalli. That game was in Redfield. And they become the 8th seed moving into this Class A state tournament. So that's the 1-8 matchup. Sioux Falls Christian and Mount Vernon Plankinton. Second half of the afternoon session tomorrow, it's the 4-5 matchup. That's the Hamlin Chargers, who were just on the floor before Sioux Valley got here. Hamlin Chargers, they'll take on Mobridge Pollock, the Tigers, and that is a 1:45 start here. That's 1:45 Mountain Time, so adjust your schedules accordingly. Hamlin comes in this 19-3 on their season. Mobridge Pollock playing up in Region 5, I believe. They come into this at 18-3. So a couple of good records there. Should be a fantastic matchup. Hamlin, we know them very well as Cossacks, the Cossack Crazies, as we are. Hamlin, a very good team. They're very fast. Their point guards are great. They can shoot threes, but they defend. They trap, and they get transition buckets out of those steals. And it's a common theme that you're going to see out of these teams here at the Class A State Tournament of pressure and getting easy buckets, transitions, and steals. The evening session, then, the first game tomorrow night will be number 2 Dakota Valley, the Panthers, taking on our Sioux Valley Cossacks, the 7th seed here. Dakota Valley on their season 21-2, including a win over the Sioux Valley Cossacks. That game was, let me see, what day did we play Old Dakota Valley? That game was on Tuesday, February 4th. And it was a 73-65 loss to the Panthers. Like I said, we had a lead with about 4 minutes left in that fourth quarter, and then we didn't make any more shots after that. So the Panthers were able to come back. Sioux Falls Christian, another opponent that Sioux Valley has played. That was a tough loss, 60-42. That was at the Cossack Center on a Saturday night. That was February 1st on that Saturday. Sisseton and Hamlin is another loss. That was a 62-59 loss. That was in double overtime at the Cossack Center, now that I remember that. So we can play with these teams, these top-seeded teams, and it's just up to these girls to see what they want to do. So that is the 2-7 matchup. First game tomorrow night in the evening session, so that's a 6 o'clock start Mountain Time. Second game is the 3-6 matchup. Mapialuta, the only undefeated team left in Class A. They're 22-0. They'll be taking on a very good Wagner squad, the Red Raiders, led by superstar Ashlyn Kopel, who just a couple weeks ago had a quadruple double and had a huge game in the Sodex 16 matchup, as well as they have been able to move on. They ended up taking out Lakota Tech. That was their Sodex 16. It was 66-58. They played that game in winter, and that sets them up against Mapialuta. Their star, Ashlyn Carlo Blunt, a 6-foot junior. She is all-world. She can shoot it. She can shoot threes. She can run. They can defend. They play very well. That Mapialuta team, formerly Red Cloud. Here's the head coach, Jamie Granham. Thanks, man. The head coach, Jamie Granham, always fun, and he's nice enough to let me just hang out on the sidelines and do whatever this is. I'm basically a sideline reporter doing this. I have no idea what's going on. So that Mapialuta team, 22-0 in their season, the only undefeated team left in Class A. They're very good. They also pressure, run, transition, layups off of steals from that pressure. It's going to be a common theme here at the state tournament, so it's going to be fantastic. The other state tournaments firing up across the state tomorrow, Class B. All these games are in Huron tomorrow. That's regular time as far as Sioux Valley goes, Volga time. Centerville, the top team, they'll play on the Dubrook Dolphins, the 8th this year. That game's at noon, and that's Eastern time, noon time, so that's your time, Sioux Valley. Centerville, the Tornadoes, are the defending champions of Class B. They'll take on the Dubrook Dolphins. Dubrook comes into this 18-5. Centerville undefeated on their season, 23-0. Dubrook earned the right to get to the state tournament by beating Old Hammer, Mona Rutland in the regions. Then they took out Weston Springs in the regions. That earned the right Sodex 16. And they took out a 19-4 Kadoka area team. That game was in Chamberlain, 53-50. So that's what earned the right for the Dubrick Dolphins. So congratulations to Brad DeBeer. I just said his name wrong. He's going to probably slap me in the mouth. Brad DeBeer and the squad there. Dubrick, I've got friends up there as well. So congrats, Dubrick. You are the 8 seed. That's the noon game in Huron tomorrow. 4-5 matchup is the second half of the afternoon session. Parkston, who just dropped down to Class B this year, they get the 4 seed. They'll take on Bennett County, making their first appearance in any state tournament ever. Bennett County full of a lot of young stars. Parkston 18-4 and they're 19-4. Sorry, I just switched on me. 19-4 in their season. Bennett County 21-2 on their season. This cough is never going away, sadly. So the evening session tomorrow, Class B, Harding County, they get the 2 seed in Class B. The Harding County Ranchers up there? Are they the Ranchers? I think they're the Ranchers. Yes, they are. 21-0 on their season. They come into this tournament as the 2 seed. They'll take on a Del Rapids St. Mary's team. Congrats to the Cardinals on punching their ticket to the Class B tournament. That's the 2-7 matchup, 6 o'clock tomorrow night in Huron. The last game of the day, Lyman, the Raiders, will take on Sanborn Central Woonsocket. That's a 7:45 start tomorrow in Huron. Lyman 19-3 on their season. Sanborn Central Woonsocket 20-3 on their season. So a lot of quality matchups there, and that's what we should get at this time of year. Not a lot of teams with 500 records or losing records are going to get to these. It happens once in a while, but that's not the case this year. To AA, and these games are at the Monument in Rapid City, so all of these times are also mountain time zones. It's the number 1 seed, O'Gorman Knights. They are undefeated on their year, 21-0. They'll take on Sioux Falls Jefferson as the 1-8 matchup. That game is at noon in Rapid City tomorrow afternoon. Rapid City, Stevens, and Spearfish, that's the 4-5 matchup. That's the second game of the afternoon. Tomorrow night at the Monument, the 2 seed, Brandon Valley. They'll take on Pier. That's the 7 seed. And then the last game of the night at the Monument is number 3 seeded Sioux Falls, Washington. They'll take on the Mitchell Colonels, the 6 seed. And that's the action. That's all of the action that I have for a preview show. You can see the girls in the background just warming up. You can see it's actually a really nice arena. This is the home of the Black Hills State Yellow Jackets. You can kind of see the stands behind me. They got banners hanging up here. It's a nice place. The A2 Arena, as they call it, home of the Class A State Tournament starting up tomorrow at noon, Spearfish time. So adjust accordingly, I guess. Do what you have to do. The other sponsors that we are going to thank as we close this up and allow these girls to shoot around in the last 19 minutes that they have. Bell Brands, sponsors of the opening tip all through the basketball season. CC's Bar and Grill, another fantastic sponsor. Thank you to the Craddock family for sponsoring this and being a part of it. They're the sponsors of the starting lineups all the time that we do this. GP Auto, first quarter stats. Thank you to Grant Peterson and friends. Health Source Chiropractic, they've been the sponsor of the halftime show. It's been unbelievable. The Health Source halftime show has gone over very, very well. I've gotten good things out of that. So, at halftime, you do whatever stats you can. You just go through the South Dakota Score Feed app and do whatever updates you can find and keep people just informed, really. And as we went through the basketball season, we started adding some interviews with that. So we were adding the coaches that were not playing at that moment. It was fun conversations with Bill Vincent, with Jamie Granum this year. We also had Tate Vincent on, who's the head coach of the Custer Wildcats. He was in town, so we put him on the microphone for halftime show. It was great. Precision Risk Management brings us our third quarter stats. Shorty's Hot Box Food Truck, they bring us our final stats of the games. And then another sponsor that's just gone over like gangbusters. These girls have absolutely loved this. The player of the game gets a gift certificate for a free smoothie from Tropical Smoothie Cafe. Thank you, Ann. We're going to do that again next year because the girls absolutely loved it. The boys did too, but the girls a lot more. I heard a lot more feedback from the girls. When we look around that South Dakota Score Feed app, we thank 2 sponsors for that. Back Alley Meats in downtown Volga. I know I got a slogan for those guys. Let me bust that out. See, I'm the only one here. I'm the only engineer. Small town quality, big city selection. When we do that South Dakota Score Feed, Buster's Auto Brokers also sponsored that. Right on the corner, right on the price, right in Mitchell. We want to thank Nick's Hamburgers, Jimmy John's, the Man Cave Barbershop. Man Cave Barbershop, the unofficial SDSU football team haircutters. They just cut my hair a week ago. Alicia and friends will take care of you there. They're on South Madera, right across from Brookings High School. And Turf Guard Lawn Service. Get a jump on your lawn care for this year and contact the local pros for all your fertilization, for all your weed control, lawn care. Turf Guard will take care of you. That's going to do it for a preview show. One last look at your Sioux Valley Cossacks as they go through the afternoon session here. Just a little practice, a little shoot around, get their legs underneath them, and get ready for a big matchup tomorrow night. The Dakota Valley Panthers, the 2-7 matchup tomorrow night, 6 o'clock Spearfish time. It's going to be fun. So if you can't be here in Spearfish, you can watch all of these broadcasts. They're on South Dakota Public TV. They also do their webcast on their live streaming, sdpb.org, I think is what it's called. They also do it that way. But just pay attention. I think it's also on the radio this year as well, so B93.7 and Braden will have it. He should be out here tomorrow. There's all sorts of ways to keep up and pay attention. I'll be doing this, a little sideline reporting now and then, especially at their practices they do out throughout the weekends. And then maybe, some interviews with some of the players at the hotel or, whatever I can get in front of them and whatever they're going to allow me to do, basically. Is how we're going to do it. But that's a preview show from the A2 Arena. It's a nice-looking place. And that's going to do it. So good luck to our Sioux Valley Cossacks. And I will see you on the sidelines, and we'll keep doing shows like this through the weekend. So keep paying attention to Saul's Media. Jason Salzman on YouTube. That's where you can find me. Nothing to it. And I'll talk to you tomorrow at some point. Thanks, everybody.